This the one. This the one, guys. This the one. All right, all right, all right. With me, yeah. Eh, eh, eh. I can lick it, I can. I like that Nicki Minaj song. Okay. I'm switching over to this, to my phone, because I set it up this way, which will then activate all the moderators and stuff in case we have some type of psychopath come on the live. I'm sorry, guys, but I needed to do that so I can see. Well, hey again, Red the One. Hey, boo. Hey, boo-boo. I'm just going to bring some inks over and talk about just the variety. Hey, Joy. All right, Black Karma. Now you're looking right. You so funny. You said yes because my block game is strong. I know it is. Thank you. Thank you. So we want to make sure that we keep the crazies out. And when I set up the live, once I set it up, it'll activate all of my moderators. But if I do it from the laptop from another platform, y'all don't get activated for some reason, or it looks a little funny. It's like it's hard for me to do both because it's already set up on my phone. I set it up right before I took a little nap. So there you go. I thought I had a pen, but y'all know what a pen is, so I don't have to get into pens. Okay, so I want to talk about inks, guys. Very, very important topic to me, because when you're writing your petition, a lot of times I think I just keep it simple and tell everybody use a permanent marker, but there's really a variety of inks that you can use. And you know that once you get into the permanent markers, I love the variety of colors, and I really incorporate the color magic. Hey, Vegan Bae. Yes, you did. You caught me live on YouTube, Pooh. So we try to activate it with the color magic. That's why I just tell y'all, grab the permanent markers and get them in the variety of colors so it can just make it simple for you guys. But a lot of times you want to amplify certain spells. I had someone in one of my questions ask me earlier this week about the live I did when I was talking about when and when not to do magic. And I was just talking about when somebody's doing dark magic on you. And they asked about when a person is trying to ruin your life. And usually when a person is trying to really take you down, they're just not writing a regular petition and keeping it going. They are incorporating levels to the magic. So I'm going to show y'all a few inks that people actually make so that they can amplify their spells. So you can see, not only is it the nature and the universe and the planets and the paper and the pen that you're using and the herbs and all of that stuff, it is the ink also. It's like the magic is layered on in so many different layers. The numbers, the time and day, all of that stuff plays a part. So some of the normal things you will normally see a person use with their magic is a pencil or a pen. And I am not against using a pencil, guys. I know I tell y'all to use a permanent marker because I want your spells, I want you to get accustomed to your spells really sticking. But with pencils, let's say you're doing a spell and you don't want it to be forever. You know what I mean? You want it to dissolve. You want it to evaporate or take its time and disappear in 6 months or a year or maybe even 2 years or something. You can use a pencil. And pencils actually last a pretty long time. If that's all you have to write your petition, as long as your energy is really being put into it, it should be okay. Now, that's not one of my favorite tools to use, but I do suggest if that's all you have, then use it, okay? But if you're going to use a pencil or a pen, and pens are ones that last way longer. But if you're going to use a pencil or a pen, I suggest you learn how to write in cursive. All right, because that's one of the more traditional ways to use that, and it will help for the energy to flow better. Or if you're not going to write in cursive, if you don't know how to, try to at least keep the pencil on the paper the whole time. Okay, so when you're writing, you'll write it, you know, with the don't lift the pencil off the paper if you're going to use a pencil or a pen. Okay, pens last a lot longer, so those will last years. Now, a lot of times when we're doing spell work and we're trying to anchor in finances and anchor in a lot of other things, we will use, how will we do it? We will use permanent marker. Something caught my mind. Anyway, we will use a permanent marker. So with the permanent markers, this is what I love. And you can use regular markers. They don't have to be permanent. You can go to Dollar Tree and just buy some markers. The only thing about regular markers is that they bleed. When you get the oils on them and stuff like that, they will bleed, and you know, that's not a good vibe. So I don't really recommend them, but you can use them if you're not going to put oils on your petition, if you're just working with dry herbs. Okay, with the permanent markers, they don't bleed. And of course, they are a little bit more expensive. I think Dollar Tree has permanent markers too, but they are a little bit more expensive, but they don't bleed. And again, you can incorporate the permanency of the spell to making it last forever or however long you want it to last. Also, you can incorporate the color magic with the permanent markers. So those are just the ones that I've always talked about besides the pencil and pen, but y'all know I always tell y'all to use the permanent markers. Now, let's get into using blood for your petitions, because a lot of people do use blood for their petitions. And yes, I mean like pricking your finger and using blood to either bind the magic or to write your petition, write your name into the magic. People do that. And I make different type of blood inks, but I want to talk to you guys about just using regular human blood, okay? And when you're using human blood, that's when you're trying to bind you and a person or you to something, all right? So that becomes more permanent when you're doing something like that, and you're actually taking the blood of a person and binding it. If you don't want to use human blood, you can use things like beet juice and blackberries, and you can take the juice, the liquid from the beets, and you can use that in replace of human blood. But again, you'll have to bless it and anoint it and say certain prayers and psalms over it in order to incorporate the energy of the person that you want to use that. Or you can put some spirit powder in it, things like that, to just kind of anchor in the energy of the person that you are doing that spell for, if it's you or if it's somebody else, okay? Same thing with the berries. You can crush blackberries and let that ferment in its own juices, or you can put it in some vinegar and let the vinegar really extract that color from it, and use that dark pigmentation to use that, you know, also as any type of blood ink that you may want to use if you're trying to represent another person or yourself in your magic, okay? Now, with the type of manufactured inks that we use in magic, there are a few of them. Some people use dragon's blood ink. Now, dragon's blood ink is an all-purpose ink. I teach all of these inks on Patreon, by the way. But the dragon's blood ink is an all-purpose ink that you can use to do pretty much anything. Like do pretty much any spell. You can write your petition with it. Now, of course, you'll need one of those pens that you can dip into, you know, the old-timey pens. I forgot what you call them. But you can dip into it. Oh, this is Black Nightshade. Give me 1 second. Let me find the dragon's blood. And they're sticky and everything. The Black Nightshade, it has Black Nightshade berries in it. So Now my hands got that sticky stuff all over it. Okay. Okay, dragon's blood. That's dove's blood. Butterfly. Where's my dragon's blood? What's going on here? Am I missing something? I am. Oh. All right. The dragon's blood ink very, very thick. And what it does, ooh, the alcohol in it has sealed it. It's a very, you have to use a certain type of alcohol for, ooh, anyway. But that's the dragon's blood ink, okay? This ink is multi-purpose, so you can use it with anything, light work, dark work, any type of spell, love spell, money spell, anything. And you basically just write the petition with the dragon's blood ink, all right? And you definitely will need one of those pens that you can dip and write. And with these type of inks, I also suggest you write in cursive. This is very old school. And back in the day, they did not write in print. They wrote in cursive, okay? Now, after the dragon's blood ink, I like to talk about positive things. Well, this is dragon's blood is positive. Dove's blood. Dove's blood ink. I thought I put them in separate little. I thought I did. I didn't move these into. Hold on. I could have sworn. I had bigger ones. Hold on. I'm just going to keep going with what I have in front of me. I don't feel like hunting. But I could have sworn I had a bunch of these with my inks in them. It's strange. Anyway, because these little mini mason jars, I thought I had bought these in a case and I had switched the inks over to them, but I can't, I'm not seeing them right now, and that just means, let me just keep going. All right, so the dragon's blood ink is like an all-purpose ink. This is what you're using when you're amplifying your spells, guys, on some real stuff. Like this is not for children's play, okay? But you want to take advantage of them. The dove's blood, I love dove's blood ink because it's all about love, passion, bringing in happy things, okay? As you can see, it's a little brighter. I gotta shake it up a little bit to make it get all the goodness at the bottom that's settled. I haven't touched it in a couple of weeks, but it's super thick. I don't want to open these because this will pop and spill everywhere, but that's the dove's blood, okay? Another beautiful positive one, if you're doing things like writing down certain, let's say you're writing a spell and you're writing the petition for a spell, and it has to be light magic, high magic, beautiful, positive things, guys. You can't do dark work. But this is butterfly blood. Very, very, now I gotta strain this one. It comes out like this. Once you strain it, the butterfly ink blood, okay? Butterfly blood ink. And what this is for writing holy scriptures, or if you're writing a positive spell or a positive petition and you're trying to anchor in something happy and light and beautiful, okay? That's when you're using the butterfly blood ink. And as you can see, just me touching the containers, it makes itself known. All right, now they have certain inks for dark work. And these are the inks that are most likely being used when a person is trying to destroy your life, okay? They're using things like black Nightshade ink. And this is black nightshade ink. It's made with certain berries and just a few ingredients that will help draw out that energy. But you need the black nightshade berries to make this, and they don't sell them in the store. Now, with this is straight up hexing. This is straight up domination work. This is straight up dark magic. There's nothing polite and nice and clean and happy about black nightshade ink. It's all about dark magic, destruction, bringing some type of curse to a person, okay? And another one that is also used, but the bat's blood ink, which we also make on Patreon. I want to get one that I can hold a little bit. When you're using these inks, I suggest you wear gloves because they can stain, okay? This is the bat's blood. As you can see, very, very rich. I'm not going to open these small containers. I have them in these. I can't find them right now. I'm not seeing it, even though I know it's right in front of me. But this is the bat's blood ink. Now, bat's blood ink is about, you can use it for things like protection. So if a person has put a hex on you and you're removing a hex, you can use, oh gosh, you can use, okay, thank you, baby. Yeah, I'm going to hide them. Thank you, Black Karma. Thank you, baby. All right, so, yes. Thank you, baby. I'm sorry. The crazies be popping on. Anyway, guys, the bat's blood. This is the one that you will need if you're removing a hex or someone is trying to destroy you. Not only does it cause, you can use it to curse somebody, you can use it to hex somebody, you can use it to destroy, but you can also use it to protect. You can also use it to break down. You see what I'm saying? You can use it in both ways. It works really good with hexing, but it also works really good with removing it. Okay, so for removing hexes, I would recommend that y'all make y'all some bat's blood ink. I know they do sell it. I have never been in a Botanica and seen it, but I do know they sell it online. Okay, but I've really never asked. I just make, y'all know I make my own stuff. Like I got into making it and I'm just happy doing it. So there we have it. Okay, so the bat's blood ink is something that if any of them you're going to make, I suggest you make the dragon's blood. It's the simplest one to make, and it's the one that is actually universal. You can break hexes and things like that with the dragon's blood as well. But if you know a person is gung-ho on you, someone is trying to kill you, they're sending you death spells and craziness, then you know you have the bat's blood ink to remove that. Do not be messing with black nightshade ink. You know, I have the top tier, so I show them everything so that they can know what weapons are out here. But I suggest that y'all just stay away from this one altogether. Don't even waste your time because it's a lot that comes into it. And ordering the berries and all that type of stuff, you don't want to be in all of that. Just stick with the dragon's blood, if anything. Or if you have to, make yourself some bat's blood ink, okay? But dove's blood is beautiful to use in love work, anything that has to do with passion, love, lust, making a baby. Wonderful for fertility spells. If you want a baby, write your petition out in Dove's Blood ink. Okay. Now, Sweet Spirit, I'm new here, but I just wanted to say thank you that you are a phenomenal teacher. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sweet Spirit. That's so sweet. I appreciate that. Thank you. So yes, I really want y'all to start, not really the made inks. You don't have to dabble in those. You just need to know about them so that if ever anything occurs, you know that, okay, there's some other inks where I can amplify the spell and take the spell to a whole new level. The main thing is getting into your color magic, knowing about layering your spells. Like, that is so important. It's not just the herbs. It's not just, even if you're doing a spell where it's just your energetic spell, just your energy, you still have to layer that spell. It still has to go with the flow of the universe. It still has to be on the right day at the right time. You know what I'm trying to say? So don't get into trying to follow, what am I trying to say here? Don't get into being stuck on certain things. You just want to make sure that you're layering it. Because I'm trying to think of what my spirit guides were trying to say before. My brain keeps going back to something I was into. Give me one moment, guys. That's a message for me. Stop getting stuck on what I was thinking. Anyway, y'all don't have to make these. Stick with the permanent markers. If you're doing something that you don't want to be permanent, you can use a pencil. And always use parchment paper, brown paper bag. You can use regular white paper. I have manifested so much with regular white paper. I don't even know what to say, you know. But even if you're doing your energetic work, that's where I was going at. You need to layer your spells. It's not necessarily praying a certain way. That's what I was trying to say. You don't have to pray a certain way. It don't have to, especially don't do this. Don't pray like that, guys. Even though you are God and you're the one manifesting for yourself, but then the energy is going back into you. Keep your hands open when you're praying. But you don't have to say it a certain way. Okay? That's really what I'm trying to say. Y'all know I can ramble. Let me shut the hell up. Anyway, do you have any questions about inks? Do you have any questions about inks? But I really wanted to do this video because I wanted people to know how far people will go to harm you. Because I don't even think a lot of you guys even thought that people will make specific inks in order to then enhance the spell. You know, but it does go that far where people will say, okay, I'm gonna make this ink and I'm gonna use my blood and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and anchor in this person to me. And then you'll see that person doing stuff that they won't normally do on the strength of. Yeah. The black nightshade ink it's a terrible, I wouldn't say it's a terrible ink, but it is not anything positive about it. I'm gonna be honest, nothing positive about it. It's all about dark work, harming, hexing, binding, holding people down, restricting you. That's what it's about. It's nothing positive about it. But I do show you how to make it in case ever you have to use it if somebody is trying to destroy you. At this point in your journey, especially I feel like the people that follow me, I hope you all are at this point where when people are sending stuff to you, you vibrate so high. That shit is just like it's just, you can just keep it pushing on their ass. Like you're not stunting them. Yeah. So they would have used something like the Black Nightshade ink, the bat's blood. That's what they would have been writing their petition in. When someone's trying to bring you down, that's how they come in. They're not coming with and believe it or not, like, have y'all ever seen Bad Boys 3 where the woman was sitting there with Santa Muerte and all day, like every time you saw her, she was in prayer, sitting with the saint, holding her rosary, praying to the saint. That type of magic, it be like that. So after they do all of this, then they sit with that altar and they work you. They work that energy in over and over. So as they're working you, and then they're controlling the situation as well, it can get really, really bad. It can get really, really bad. Oh, thank you, Kathy. I love it. You know what? The Dragon's Blood ink is one that I actually do use regularly. So if I'm really trying to bust something wide open, then I'll just grab the Dragon's Blood ink. I don't really use any of the other ones. They just sit there. Not even the Dove's Blood. I will use this one. I love the Dove's Blood. I've used it a couple of times, and it's really good. And I have written things with this one, but the other two, no. But I will if you test me. I will if you test me. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, guys. My phone had went into low power mode. You know how it go. You know how it go. Yeah, Sweet Spirit, being aware of all, you don't have to do any of the dark work. Please don't get into dark work. You don't want to dabble in that, but you do need to know it. You see what I'm saying? It is good to know it. It is good to know everything about it. Because we all have a light and a dark side. None of us is just innocent and easy and you can just go around taking advantage of us like that. So we all have that dark side and it's good to know it. So in case somebody is trying something, you can protect yourself and you can lay their ass out if necessary. But you don't want to be dabbling, like going back and forth with people with dark work. Leave them to them thing. If that's how they operate, leave them there. Just leave them there. You don't want to get into that. Because people are really wicked. You said, now you really thinking? Yes. Now, don't do nothing bad, Black Karma. Don't do nothing, but still amplify your spells. Wonderful way to. And if y'all should take a cursive learning class, learn how to write in cursive, guys. That will help so much. It's not necessary, but it's a wonderful way. You so funny. Okay. Where you can find butterfly ink online, just Google it and they sell it online. I've never purchased it. As you can see, I just make it. It's very, very, it's not this one, it is kind of expensive. You might just want to buy it. It is kind of the butterfly ink is because saffron is expensive and the base of that one is saffron. So if you have pure saffron, you can make a little bit, but I'm just saying. Saffron is, pure good saffron is expensive. But you can definitely remove with the bat's blood. You can remove hexes, remove curses, put protection on yourself. That is really, really, really good. Okay? So take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. But yeah, that's it. I don't know why I keep saying I just keep saying it today. That's been my word of the day. Hello, Trapland. Hey, baby. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, Trapland. How you been? How you been, baby? So, yes, my loves. Oh, what a day. What a day. I think that's about it. That's all. Do y'all have any questions for me? Oh, you've been doing wonderful. He said, I've been doing the best I can. You've been good. You're welcome, Joy. You're welcome. I appreciate y'all joining me this evening. I really do. I wish I was in a whole grind mode, but I wanted to come on here and really get into it. This was just some small knowledge that I felt like needed to be known. If y'all already know, like, share, subscribe, share, guys. Even though it's a few of us in here, we can still share and like the video. Okay? And oh, it's okay. Is my what? Is my Patreon? Yes, it is. It is. It's Insight by Tesh. So yes, ma'am, it's the same. And this week on Sunday, we're going to do candle carving. I'm going to show y'all how to really get into the candle carving and all of that type of stuff. Hi, Lady J. Hello, baby girl. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Red the One. I appreciate you saying that. I'm trying to just make sure that whatever I feel like talking about, sometimes I want to come on here and talk about like real life things, but I'm trying not to get into the political issues of the world, because when Neptune goes direct, I'm not going to care about it anyway. So, but I'm not into politics. I'm talking about like what's going on with love, and sometimes I'll get messages and I'll just be annoyed, like, oh my God. Like a love message that I got this week earlier was about people's exes, and if you're dealing with an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, and it was just talking about how miserable this person was, and this is like just downloads I'm getting. I'm like, why am I hearing about people's exes? So I be wanting to come on and like pass on that message to whoever, because the person is in a karmic state away from you, and they're feeling us like really bad about it. And I felt I had to say like the person they left you for, because some of them was dating another person and they kept on dating that person, and you had backed out of the relationship, and that person and them are no longer together. You know, all of that. Like the person felt used, they felt it was all of that. It was all of that. And every person that they kept around, friends, family, and lovers, were backstabbing them in some way, doing little mean things to them. So it's like little messages like that. I'd be like, should I go on there and give that to them? So I guess I would. I'll just pop on and say them, or just pop them up. Stop being a puss, Tesh. You're welcome. Yeah, we're doing candle carving. We're going to do that Sunday. Because Saturdays when I go live, it's always about 2 or 3 people on Patreon, which I don't mind those. I love whoever comes on there. Even if it's one, I wouldn't care. But I noticed that on Saturdays, especially in the afternoons where all of us are usually really busy. So I'm going to start doing them on Sunday or Friday. Whenever I feel like it, I just pop on. Okay? So yeah, get your candle and we're going to get deep into the candle carving. All right? All right, my loves. You're welcome to everybody and I thank you guys. Thank you for the likes. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, guys. I love you, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Can we use a small taper candle? That's not what we doing. What do you mean for the candle carving? No, I'm not using a small taper candle. We're gonna use one of. I'm using one of these on Sunday. You don't have to get one of these, but I'm taking out one of these for us because I want to get deep into showing y'all symbols and signs and ways you can really get into the candle carving and all of that good stuff. But the small taper candles, I would not recommend. They're so small. I mean, you can. I carve mines. Y'all know I write my petitions on them. But I would prefer, if you're going to use a taper candle, don't use the small ones. Use these. And they sell these in the dollar store too. Okay? If you're going to use one, get one of these. Because then you have more room to really make the symbols and put the length and the effort, and you can really put the pressure on the candle when you're carving it, okay? But if this is all you have, you're more than welcome to join. Y'all know I love everybody. But I try to at least have one of these. And they sell 2 for $1.25 in Dollar Tree. Y'all can do it. Y'all can do it. And in any color, I'm doing money. I'm not big on I don't really care about love like that. Not to say love is not important, but it's not for me. It's about my money and my finances being right and everything else falling into place. So we're going to do some candle carving. All right, my loves. And that's it. Thank you too. You too. Thank you. See y'all later. Mwah. I can